Hello, my name is Darren, and we are members of something called the International Business Structuring Association, or IBSA. Essentially, it's a network of professionals that serve clients, private clients, so families that are exposed to multiple jurisdictions and they're running businesses, entrepreneurs. So it's not just restricted to tax, even though we're going to talk about tax. It'll be like investment migration, IP lawyers, insolvency, just anything to do with what a family will go through as they cross borders. And with that, I'd like to introduce you to the panel. Jose, you're going to start from your side and introduce yourself.
Thanks everyone to join this, and thanks Darren and Step 80 also for our participation. I'm a tax partner in Squire Patton Boggs, based in the Madrid office. I do international tax, even though I could sound probably American. It's my mom's American, my dad's Spanish, and I'm actually probably the only one not talking about U.S. taxes here, but some of the additions around that, which is always great to hear. Everyone living outside of the UAE, like myself, is excited to come to a place where Texas is a friendly environment for Texas. So you got to stay away of our tax network around how the trends, the difficulties around kind of keeping taxes low, and especially with U.S. citizens. So happy to be here and try to contribute to this discussion.
My name is Jimmy Sexton. I'm the founder and CEO of Esquire Group. We provide international tax and wealth planning services to affluent multinational families and help them minimize their taxes and pass their wealth to the next generation in a tax efficient, organized manner.
My name is Vince Trung. I'm based here in Gate West with a company called GSB Capital. I'm from California. I'm an American CFP, so I do financial planning, financial modeling, asset management for clients, and I've been here 16 years now.
The 60,000 limit, it's for any U.S. assets, including the shares in U.S. companies?
Correct, and even if they're held through a foreign brokerage account or something like that, yes.
What if there's an entity, it's a blocker structure?
A blocker structure works, right? I think that something like 90% of the world's portfolios contain U.S.-based securities, right? You have to look at the securities, right? But it's not even just stocks. It can be U.S. ETFs, it can be U.S. mutual funds, some U.S. debt instruments, and if they're owned by an individual non-resident alien directly, then the 60,000 limit applies. There's certain insurance wrappers that you can use to get around this. You can use foreign corporations as blockers. There are several structures to help avoid the U.S. estate tax completely. Unfortunately, most people just never put them in place.
To add on that, and I'm putting practical examples like when you said this is something that you may worry only when it happens, right? You only die when you die, right? But like I've had classic examples, someone said, hey, I have Apple shares that I bought for 700,000, now they're worth 10 million. What can I do? Right? And that's something that you don't have to wait until, well, I'll worry when I'm 70, 80, and then I'll think about it. Because then you have the underlying capital gains. And I know UAE is obviously friendly on taxing, but you always have the concerns about what happens when you put in place the structure, the underlying capital gains. So the basic is the sooner the better you consider, and I know everyone has these considerations in mind, but the truth is you still find people that come out and say, I have inherited millions in US stocks, and now what? And now it's like, now you just have to pay again. So this is a warning to keep it up and think about.
Yeah, I mean, one sort of fortunate thing, right, is the heir in the U.S. It's the estate that pays the tax, so the heirs wouldn't be liable for the tax, but certainly the assets would have to get sold to cover the tax. I mean, one of the things is, I mean, unless you're talking about real property that's located in the United States, I mean, we're talking about stocks and securities, you can generally move those into a structure tax-free, at least from a U.S. standpoint.